Yo, 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 what is up, guys? It's Benji here, and it's been a really long time. It's been probably a year or two since I posted a video or any update for that matter. And since then, I coached for CLG Academy for a year, and after that, this year, I moved into my new apartment in or around Vancouver in BC, where I'm from. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update and just like talk about some things that maybe you'll find like motivational or inspirational, or maybe not, maybe you'll just be entertained. I don't know. I've honestly like wanted to post this video for a long time, but I think I got so disconnected with like myself and like my personality and my just everything, that I was kind of like beginning to feel like a bit of a shell, a bit of like a soulless husk. And you can't make videos or do anything or say anything when you feel like that. So this year has been pretty much just a journey to kind of like just trying to like rediscover myself and just like fix things that have been a problem in my life for a long time. But I've been doing it. It's been hard. It's been tough. There's definitely been a lot of like self-doubt, but I've been doing my best to push through it. And I'm at the point now where, yeah, I hit the record button and I'm talking to this mic, and I'm going to post this hopefully. So, yeah. So I guess one of the things that I've always talked about was, my struggle with my wrist. This year, I finally talked to a useful physiotherapist who gave me a routine to do that I've been doing pretty much every single day, that is aimed at like re-strengthening and rebuilding like just the strength in my wrist and my arm. And it has been an incredible journey. I talked to him first when I was on CLG. He worked with all the players, and after parting ways with CLG, I contacted him. I was like, yo, can we do something about my wrist, man? I would love to just see what life looks like if I could fix this. I couldn't really like golf. I couldn't actually like really golf like properly. I couldn't gym properly. Just lifting weights eventually would just make my wrist freeze up. I couldn't play games how I wanted to play. Like, I had to play with a really low APM. My wrist has been a huge source of just agony in my life, like ever since it became something that I had to think about. I think that, there have been studies done on the effects of chronic pain on your brain. It has very negative effects. Just this feeling, this hopelessness of having something negative affecting your life that you don't know how to do anything about to fix. It eats away at you, and it is absolutely brutal. And it was eating away at me for a long time. It's a big reason why I quit streaming back in like 2019, 2020, even though I had some momentum going. I couldn't play well anymore because my wrist wasn't holding up, and it was extremely frustrating for me. So I ended up dipping. So yeah, I've been working on that. It's been going really well. And the other thing is just my mentality. If you've seen like any of my posts on social media lately, or any of my streams even earlier this year, um, man, I honestly feel like I've just been sort of like a piece of shit. Like, I I was not always like this, but man, I have realized, especially lately, that I've just become or I was becoming such a negative, such a bitter, such a jaded person. I think over the last few years, I finally let like every bad thing that ever happened in my life become an excuse for why I can't be great or why I can't do great things. And that's a fucking problem, because when you get trapped in a victim mentality that you're a victim of everything, there's nowhere to go from there, obviously. Like, if your entire identity is that you're a victim, then like, okay, what's the end goal? Like, people are going to feel sorry for you. Like, you're not going to no one's going to feel any positive emotion from seeing you or like watching your content or whatever. Like, obviously people care about victims. They feel sorry for them, but I don't think anyone wants to be someone that people just permanently feel sorry for or something like that, So I think, having that realization was really important. Honestly, it felt kind of like waking up when I really started to like think about these things, because there were just things that just became natural. Like, yeah, I honestly went through some tough times. I had some tough circumstances. Some unfortunate things happened, like for real. But ultimately, like, that happens to everybody. Like, yeah, okay, maybe some people just win the lottery and have a great life, but even then, they say lottery winners have some of the hardest lives. So, everyone goes through some shit, and for me to think that like the shit that I went through was like bigger or like worse than like what other people had dealt with was really like short-sighted. Like it wasn't even super conscious either. It was just it was like a gradual buildup of like, man, I hate that this happened. I should have got a tryout for this team. This should have happened. Like, I should have won this game. I should have won this split, or I should have done better here. Like, it's just there's like this gradual buildup of things that like should have happened in my mind that didn't happen, that I think eventually just developed into this like literal plague on my mind that was like preventing me from actually doing anything. Like, those situations that I was like salty about were only possible because I had the complete opposite mentality of what I had the complete opposite mentality of like what I developed after going through those things, if that makes any sense. So I've been really trying to like figure out ways to return to, the person that I used to be, like the person that I was like truly proud of and content with. And I think I'm definitely not like 100% there, but I think that, I've made some steps that make me feel like a taste of like how I used to feel. And I think that feels really good. It's the reason why I'm here, like making this video right now. So there's that. And then I think honestly that mentality too led to, I don't know if I want to like call it depression. I think, yeah, maybe I've like always been a little bit depressed to an extent, but I think the mentality that I had evolved into like an even worse form of depression, which is apathy. I think that apathy might be the worst possible feeling that you can feel in the world, because it's a complete lack of feelings. It's like I stopped caring what anybody thought. I had this mentality of like, you think what you think of me, you don't know anything about me, you don't know anything that I went through, you literally don't know my story or my struggle, you don't even care. And for that reason, I don't give a fuck about you either. Like, why would I care about you? But when I thought about it more, it was like, by doing that, by assuming that everyone who like just doesn't like really care about you or whatever, hates you or whatever, it's like you're like admitting that your thoughts and like your opinions are not like important enough to like change other people's minds. And it was just so then I just had this unwillingness to like ever really explain myself. I post what I post. I have my opinions. I don't care what you think of them. And it honestly led to like a lot of like negative things where I just said negative things, and it wasn't that I am like posting things for attention or like I'm posting things for a response. I was literally just careless. I'm like, I don't need you. You don't need me. Like, I'll just be honest. I'll just post what I'm going to post, and that's that. And so I think a lot of the things I did post on social media for the last couple of years probably left a really bad taste in people's mouths. Like, wow, this guy is a fucking piece of shit. He's just such a dick. Like, why do I care about his opinion at all? Why? Just get the fuck off my screen, And that mentality just ends up being like a vicious cycle where you post like that, or you like interact like that with people online, or you make that your personality, and then people reflect it right back at you, right? Like, people do reflect your energy. They say like other people are just straight up a reflection of yourself. Whatever you hate in other people, it's because you hate that deep down within yourself, that kind of thing. And I used to understand that, which is the crazy part. I used to know that so well. Like, I used to understand that thought process inside and out, and I felt like I never fell victim to it because I was just so familiar with it. But I think over the years, again, because of my experiences, I really just I don't know, I lost my ability to think critically for real. And so honestly, I I apologize to anybody that, I like triggered on social media. I apologize to any, like, I hella disrespected CLG. I hella disrespected, you know, like a lot of people, just because legit I just did not care. But yeah, I think having these realizations is the first step to fixing anything, right? Like you need to understand what's going on in your own brain to understand like how to fix it. And I think that honestly, this is going to be kind of off topic in a way, but my mom made a collage. It was honestly the best birthday gift I've ever gotten. She made it, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. She made this like online collage of pictures of like throughout my esports career. Every single picture that was like ever posted of me or whatever, she saved it. I didn't even know. So she was like saving all of these pictures throughout the years from like 2010 all the way to like 2019, 2018, whatever. And she just saved them all. And yeah, she gave me this huge collection for my birthday. And the first time I ever saw it, I legitimately like teared up because it brought back so many just memories. And it was almost hard to look at because I realized like the person that I'm looking at in these pictures would be very disappointed in the person looking at them. And I realized that I was like just 100% becoming a person that I like literally would have despised. I would have hated running into me in a solo queue game. I would have hated interacting or dealing with me, like online or whatever. And so I realized like, damn, like I knew more, I was smarter, I was more tuned in before when I was like a kid, when I had no like I didn't have much struggles, I didn't have much like I hadn't dealt with life a whole lot yet. I hadn't dealt with like public perception or like fame, even though I was never, obviously I'm not like famous, but you get a taste of it, like just being in LCS, you get an experience of what it's like to have everybody in the world critiquing you. I wasn't jaded yet. And I realized that if I want to be like happy and fulfilled with my life, I need to find a way to return to the person that I used to be. And so it's crazy. Like I started really looking at like old content that I used to make. I started looking for like old guides that I used to write or blog posts, YouTube videos, whatever. And I remembered the URL. It popped into my head. It was like the URL for this blog post that I made probably like 8 or 9 years ago. I think you could find it right now. It's like soloqlod.blogspot.ca. And the post was just about how to climb in ranked. It sounds so stupid, right? But just from reading it, I realized that, you really, in order to be successful or to do anything in life, like you need to have a very clear-cut vision on what you want to do, and you have to work to make it a reality. And part of that is being a positive person. Part of that is being like a good influence on people. And for me, at least, maybe not for everybody, but I think, making content, making people happy, making people smile, or like adding value to people's lives is something that is probably the most fulfilling thing deep down. And I don't know if there's any comparison to that in anything else that I could do in my life. Maybe there is, maybe if I go to school and learn to code and like work for Google or something, yeah, maybe that would give me more fulfillment. I don't know. But up until this point, I think that the two things that gave me just infinite happiness were playing professionally and streaming and making content and just being able to talk to people and make people happy. I literally, when I was like 10 years old, I used to play like random games and stream them on Xfire. I would stream to like 2 viewers, like Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. I would stream to like 2 viewers playing my Paladin, trying to get Gladiator and WoW. Like when I was like a noob in season 1, like in gold, I used to stream on Justin TV, like the original Justin TV before Twitch even existed. Like it was always, for me, it was just always like second nature of like this feeling of like, yo, I have really good opinions, I have value, like I'm gonna bring value to whatever I'm doing. And you know, there was nothing about it was like egotistical or like self-centered. And that's why I didn't make this video for a long time. I just had this feeling that like, if I make a video purely about myself, posting it on my channel, who's gonna watch it? It's gonna feel so weird, because it's like, yeah, like this guy, like who cares about this guy? He's not doing anything special right now. He's not he's not doing anything crazy. But I realized like, that's not what I used to post. That's not like the mentality that I used to have. I used to just think like, maybe someone will be helped by this. Like, I'm gonna put this out there. Maybe someone going through a similar situation is gonna just be able to find some value in this. And that like, is pretty much the mentality of where I'm at and why I'm posting this. I'm getting a bit off track, but yeah. So I read this blog post probably about 2 months ago, and man, it just inspired me so much. It made me really want to get good at League, and to like fearlessly like declare like something that I want to do without feeling embarrassed about it. Literally for the last couple of years, like I was scared of publicly streaming and being like, yeah, I want to be a streamer, or I want to be a YouTuber, or I want to like have a big following on YouTube, or I want to be able to make a career out of it. I felt like even when I was streaming in 2019 full time, I always said like, I'm just doing this for fun, because I was like scared to admit that this isn't just something that I want to do for fun. This is something that like I really want to do, and I want to be like good at. Like I don't want to just be a streamer. I want to be a good streamer. I don't want to just make YouTube videos. I want to have good YouTube videos. I don't want to just play solo queue and be like kind of good. I want to be the best. And I know those things are like corny to say, or like they sound stupid or whatever, but I really feel like there's honestly nothing corny about saying those things. Like that's what pushes things forward, is people who are willing to stick their neck out and like suffer the public humiliation of, potentially not being able to follow through on something that they say they want to make happen. And so honestly, like this video, I guess, is just to tell you guys, like, I'm going to get good at League. I'm going to try really hard. I want to become, right now, just literally for the sake of myself, I want to become one of the best ADCs in NA this year, just as a literal exercise to see if I can make something happen that I really want. I'm not kidding. Watching Gumayushi play literally inspired me so much. I had this thought mainly from watching LCK finals. I've never seen a player like him. He's so insanely good. It's crazy. And if I could even become like 10% as good as him, I think that I would feel fulfilled this year. And on top of that, I really want to grow my YouTube channel. I really want to like actually post videos and just like try to rebuild a community and like just bring something positive and bring value to your guys' lives. And hopefully I'm able to do that. And then I have been streaming a little bit lately. I want to stream somewhat consistently, and I want to grow my stream straight up. I don't want to try to grow my stream. I want to grow my stream. I want my stream to be bigger, and I want to just try to do these things one more time, I guess, before I pack it all up and like go to school or move on and do something completely different with my life. Because I feel like deep down, I honestly still have a lot of ambition, motivation, and passion, and it's been hiding behind this like wall that, I haven't been able to access it for so long. But I feel like lately I've been in such a good headspace, and I don't know, it's just, I feel like I've been getting like signs and stuff that I need to try and do this just one more time. I bought this mic a couple weeks ago. After I watched the blog post, I was like, I'm going to start like building a streaming setup for myself and just see if that, gives me motivation to do it. And I had this crazy, it sounds so stupid, but I went to Canada Computers, and I haven't been recognized in public ever in my entire life, I'm pretty sure. Maybe like I have been recognized when I'm like with my LCS team back in the day, or when I'm with another like more famous pro player or something like that. I'm pretty sure I've literally like never been recognized ever in Canada. And I was going to go try and buy this mic, and I went up to the counter, and the dude was like, yo, do you play League by any chance? I was like, yeah. And he's like, wait, are you Lod? I was like, damn, like, how the fuck did you even know? I had like shades and a hat on. I was like, how did this guy even recognize me? How would anyone recognize me after all those years? And I just thought like the coincidence of it was just so unbelievable that I was like going to buy this mic in anticipation of trying to get a streaming setup and to start streaming. And at that exact moment is when this happened. And I didn't end up being able to buy it at that store. I ended up having to go to a different store. But I had this feeling when I was driving to the next store, like I was literally just like flooded with emotions. I was just flooded with like all of these emotions and all these memories of like, wow, like in a past life, I used to do something that was like respectable. I used to put in so much effort and work into my craft that people knew me and recognized me for it. And that was a feeling that I fucking loved. And I think I really was denying that I loved that feeling for a really long time. And I was denying that that is something that I actually cared about at all. I just, I literally just pretended like, as I said earlier, like I don't give a fuck about what you think of me. I don't give a fuck what I think about you. You're nothing to me. I'm nothing to you. And I realized like that was just purely like ego. That was pure pride. That was pure like bitterness. And so, yeah, man, I don't know how to end this. I honestly literally didn't even know what I was going to say going into this video, but ultimately my goal is to be good at League again. I want to be good enough to play in CQ. I want to be good enough to try and grind for rank 1 in CQ when it comes back in a couple months. And I want to be good enough. I want to be mentally good enough that you can like watch my stream and not see me raging at people and actually being a good person. I want to be a better person. I want to be a more positive person. And I want to try and return to like the person I used to be who actually manifested things into existence. My career, it feels like it wasn't even supposed to happen. It feels like I'm not even supposed to be here. I have, a dog that I love, a dog that I've wanted for a very long time. I grew up always wanting a dog. I have an apartment that I'm really happy with a great view. I have a computer that can run League at 240 FPS. I'm not bragging. It's just I always wanted all of these things so badly. And I thought that when I got them that I would be happy. But even though they bring value to my life and they help, they're a vehicle. Well, maybe not so much my dog. My dog is fucking amazing and brings a lot of value to my life, but all these belongings and all these possessions and all of these things, they're just a vehicle to find fulfillment. You know what I mean? They're not the end all be all of the journey. They are just there to help you. They're accessories to help you get to where you want to be. And I don't think that I am where I want to be right now. So I'm going to be making more videos. I'm going to be streaming. And I'm going to get good at League, straight up. I'm going to get really good. I'm going to get insanely good. And you guys are going to be surprised by how good I can be now that I can use my wrist and actually click like I used to click. And I'm really excited for this, man. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is a really long video. I'm sorry it was unscripted, but legit, thank you guys. Thank you so much if you are still here. I really appreciate it, man, and I appreciate so much all of the support that I've gotten over the years. Anyone who's ever given me support has literally just triggered those same memories that I was talking about in the mic shop. Those feelings of like, wow, it feels good to do something that impresses people or makes people happy. And so I'm gonna be trying to do that again in the future. So yeah, thank you for real, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll be posting more. See ya.